show some.
Yeah, you bet. So just to share real quick on the verbs, we do have another page for that. And what we're going to do in just a moment here is going to show you some sample resumes of what we really look for and how we're going to see how they're laid out.
And we're going to show you some great resume verbs. Resume verbs are the first word that you use in each line of your experience. So we used to say responsible for, managed, no more, spearheaded, collaborated, launched, propelled. So I have 3 or 4 pages, so you brainstormed, and can we scroll a little bit on those? And you're going to find a whole bunch of things. You wrote something, or perhaps you authored, you know. And if you can't think of a way to actually show this whole thing about the PAR, you probably heard about PAR, when you perform, action, result, we're going to cover that a little bit, is that you can always put successfully implemented something if you can't really quantify. Yeah. This is where someone's actually talking about what the results driven that they did, quarter to quarter. They really want to see those percentages and results of what you did. So think about that. So I performed, or I solved the problem, and I did an action, and there was a result. Those are what we call marketing hooks. After bullet points, it's general ledger, accounting. This talks about some of the points, but if you're more of a senior person, you might put down successful negotiator, P&L responsibility plus how much money it might have been. You can put those are really good hooks for those kind of resumes. So if you're up the food chain, as I call it, up the career chain, those are really effective, and it gets your eye. It catches the eye of the people reading it. Okay, so, and then we can scroll down.
Yeah, it definitely goes back to marketing and branding yourself. Again, you're trying to catch our eyes, trying to catch our attention as well. So giving some good things of what you've done, what you've accomplished, some of the bullet points up there will definitely help catch our eyes.
Sure.
What I'm really looking for on the resumes is, I'm looking for successes. I'm looking for the best. I want the winners. And how I do that is I look for key things that they've done, key action items and verbs. And again, we have a page on that showing successfully launched this, I've done this, accomplishments, moving up the chain, things that they show that where they've helped progress as well. So that's things I'm looking for. Again, I really want to try to find and get to the best. So what I'm doing is I'm really looking for some action keywords that they've done, that they've accomplished. Not just, oh, I participated in this, versus, hey, I drove this and I launched this and I successfully did this. I'm looking for key action items and terms within resumes.
What are they looking for exactly? I kind of get confused.
Okay, it's a very good question.
Possibly know all the technology that are available around.
So she's right. Some of these job specs, they want every programming language ever known to man in there. Yeah. So here's something to remember. The first things they mention are the things they want the most of. It's sort of like you look in the back of a package of cookies, and if it says sugar, 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 you know that that's the number one ingredient. It's the same thing when you do your resume or your technical summary. Whatever you list first, you have the most of. The same thing on those job specs. And here's something to remember. You don't have to have 100% of what that spec says. If you're in the 80 percentile, you're way in the ballpark. So just remember that. Oh shoot, if I had UML, I could put that. Don't. These guys are, sometimes these teams are dreaming what all they want. Really.
They're looking for big
they sit down and it's like, well, listen, I say, that's called the purple squirrel. They go, what? I go, it doesn't exist, okay? You know, we have a term and we use that internally. Anyway, but so that's the thing to remember. So if you have 80% of what they're looking for, apply for that position. And remember, if the first ones are the ones they want. So if they put C++, you know they want object-oriented. And if they say Unix, you know, any flavor of Unix usually is okay. Our company, any flavor of Unix. So that's a good question. I'm glad you brought that up. We go to the next one. Just write down PAR. P-A-R. Problem, action, result. Okay. Next. Go to the next page. Okay, here's some example PARs. We kind of covered that. Actually, you can see these a little bit better, can't we, Dan?
Yeah, actually.
Successfully implemented a web application using LAMP that improved case resolution times by up to 25%. Love it. Orchestrated the design and development of the distributed software for the online connection to the web. And it talks about what the language they use. So if you're technical out there, remember, for each job, hiring managers want to know for each role, or if you had multiple projects in a company, technical projects, put on there what was the language that you used. They ask me this all the time, and I'm like, okay, let me call. So what was the scope, your role, So I'm just going to cover that. So then this one is C++ and Unix. The first one is LAMP, if you know Linux, Apache, MySQL, PHP. So it talks about exactly what they used. That is a huge hook for these technical folks out there.
Again, going back to the slide, is what we're really aiming and what we're looking for and trying to get across here is really choosing the right keywords that will help promote yourself and your resume, your brand, you.
And these are the first, this is the first word you use in each bullet point in your experience, these resume verbs. And other places too, but that first word is really the hook.
So to go along that, this is a website called meetup.com. Basically all I did was type in the word marketing, and I chose the zip code 94089, which is Sunnyvale zip code here. And as you can see, there's a number of different, for example, there's this Bay Area Net Marketing Alliance. It looks like it has about 50 members in there. If anyone's into cooking, I guess there's a culinary cooking fresh for the farmers market would turn 80 aspiring chefs. But basically, you could actually just type in a keyword that you might be involved with, whether it be marketing or engineering or project management or whatever, again, whatever field or industry you're in. You could actually type a keyword or two into this meetup.com and find a local event, find others to connect with. You'll find a lot of power in networking and knowing the right people and other leaders in other groups. And if not, they may be able to send you a point in the right direction of someone else. Really
Mr. LinkedIn, as I call him.
Yeah, I love LinkedIn. I found LinkedIn back in 2005. And for me, as a social recruiter, basically, I always like to try to leverage and find people however I can in networking. That's exactly kind of what we do for a living, and how we do things. So I just want to share a couple brief facts about LinkedIn if you don't know about it already. The website's called linkedin.com, www.linkedin.com. And a couple interesting facts about LinkedIn. A lot of business professionals on it. Tons of business. In fact, right now it says 48 million members. So folks don't know already, 48 million members is basically, last night when I went to Google, I talked to Reid Hoffman. He was sharing with us that it's basically growing a person a second and basically 1 million people every 3 weeks. But so what does that mean for us? Basically it means a whole network to leverage and contact and connect with and friends to make. And this is a great website to find a number of different business professionals and a number of different companies that could at least maybe help open the door for you or allow a way in or someone to connect with that could maybe lead you to that right hiring manager. And again, this is a great website to leverage and use.
And people say, well, how does it work? Well, you want to invite as many people as you know from prior companies and alumni that you may know. And the more that you invite, the more your network grows, because as theirs grow, they have this complicated algorithm. Your network grows. And if you say, like, gosh, there's a job over at Palm, but I don't know anybody, let me check my LinkedIn. Ah, I do know somebody through my neighbor who works at Palm. Boom, you have a connection. You call them, you have a connection.
Exactly, and let me just chime in. So LinkedIn has pretty powerful different things here. You can look at people. There's different tabs. There's people, job. You know, let me. There's people, jobs, answers, and companies, and just like Noelle was sharing, it's a way to really leverage a way in or someone to connect with. And I really suggest everyone trying to go on this LinkedIn website. And if you want, you invite me. I'd love to connect with you. I have a pretty extensive network, connected with a number of HR business professionals. It really is about the connections, and as you start to grow your network, I'm not saying you have to be a total avid networker, but at the same time, leveraging the network and also utilizing it can really help you. And you can search by companies, by people. It has a job feature. You can actually look for jobs in there as well, and it's a great resource to really utilize.
And sometimes hiring managers directly post in there. In fact, Intel doesn't use any other job board but LinkedIn. And an account for each of us is, we have an account, it's $5,000 a year. Our company believes that strongly in this, that almost everybody that works in our area has their own account. A special corporate LinkedIn account costs $5,000 a year. That is how big this recruiting tool is.